We've got a great show for you today.
The 2017 budget has been approved, but there are some changes.
Camp Fear is back. Do you have what it takes to make it through the night?
And the city of Rowlett keeps winning awards. We're going to brag on a few of our departments.
All that and much more coming up right now. Hi, and welcome to Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Gottel.
And I'm Brian Funderburg.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You can also find us on our favorite YouTube channel at Rowlett Texas Video, all one word, where we're in full HD. And of course, Brian, your favorite website.
Rowlett.com.
That's right, great website, isn't it?
It's very good.
Well, to get started, we've got a great program today. We're going to get started, we're going to talk about the fiscal year budget 2016-27. So over to you, Brian.
The Rowlett City Council has approved the fiscal year 2016-2017 budget for $93.1 million. However, City Council determined this year is not the appropriate time to lower the tax rate as presented in the proposed budget. The penny reduction in the tax rate was denied. The 2017 budget will now have additional funds totaling $395,000 since the tax rate remained the same. It will remain at $78.7 per $100 in assessed property value. In fiscal year 2017, City staff and the City Council will continue this discussion and develop strategies to identify the deliverables that must be attained, such as when our new development actually impacts revenues, in order to reduce the tax rate in the future. The City Council's decision to maintain the existing tax rate was very difficult and not lightly entered into. The promises made to Rowlett citizens when the tax rate was raised are taken very seriously, and this budget reflects that commitment. City Council and staff plan on holding a special meeting open to the public to discuss where the extra money will be appropriated. That was a tough discussion, Todd.
Yeah, it was, Brian, and I think, you know, as I've clearly said, I'm very disappointed by the decision that was made. I do understand and respect the council members' decisions that voted for or to keep the money in the budget, but the challenge really is, to me, it's a balance, and how much is too much. And when you look at there's tax rate and then there's valuation increase, and they're both the tax increase in that sense. You know, you can very easily raise the tax rate to generate more revenue, or you can have a valuation increase. And over the past 2 years, we've had roughly about an 18% valuation increase across the board. And so when you think about that, that's additional monies that we have. Now we know, or we knew going into this, that there were going to be some very tough decisions that had to be made. And I think the biggest challenge is, how do you fund all of the needs that we have? And the needs far outweigh any money that we'll ever have. If I was very wealthy and I could write you the $100 million check, you could very easily find a way to spend the $100 million because of all the, just in the infrastructure alone, between the alleys that we get calls on all the time, the roadways that need repair or repaving. It's a very expensive proposition, and that's just above the ground. Then you go below the ground and start looking at the sewer and the water and the drainage and all that stuff, and that's aging as well. And that's kind of the part we sometimes forget about as well. So it's never an easy decision. Again, I respect the fact that, you know, we've had a lot of discussion on this, but I was really disappointed because I really, again, when we raised the tax rate several years ago, it was really the intent of that we were trying to make it through a very tough period of time due to the recession that we had, and the goal was to give it back. And I'm going to continue to push, as mayor while I'm here, to make sure that we continue to strive to bring the tax rate itself down, just simply because of the fact that the valuation increases are really pushing taxes to a whole new level.
And Mayor, you know, the good news for the public particularly is that all this construction that we're seeing today is going to have an impact,
absolutely.
A very positive impact. It's just not today.
Right.
You know, the last couple years we've had about $50 million in new growth each year. But, you know, in future years, you're going to see $200 million, $250 million as these new projects come online and hit the tax roll.
So can we
just
talk
not
about
hit
that for a
yet.
second? Because
Sure.
if I'm a viewer watching this and I hear numbers of $250 million or $200 million, that's not $200 million in revenue coming into the city.
No.
So, you know, it's all of a sudden it's like, hey, you have this basically it's $90 million budget, and all of a sudden you're going to get $250 million more. Well, no, the answer is that's $250 more in
assessed value.
In assessed value. Thank you very much. That's right. So that was, of course, the reason for my pause. I'm saying yes. So it's not just me telling people it's here, but it's property values that are coming in, or properties that are being built, and the valuation on those specific properties.
Well, and the point I was making is that, to your point earlier, Mayor, is that the conversation about the tax rate does get to continue,
Right.
because we're going to continue to see increases in taxable value going forward because of the new construction. And so every year we will have that conversation.
Well, and my ask is that as we get into additional discussions, one of the greatest things I think we ever did in terms of working through our budget process is really adopting a 5-year model. You have this 5-year model, everything gets plugged into. And I'd really like the council, as well as city staff, to consider building the tax decrease into the model itself. So we know it's coming, it's planned. This isn't spur of the moment, let's just cut a bunch of stuff so I can prove a point of how I can lower the taxes. We could very easily do that. As you saw back in 2007, it was, it had a little bit of a catastrophic impact on city operations. When we said, let's just cut 5%. It doesn't sound like a lot, but there's not, you're cutting all the extra programs that are out. So I think if we can take a hard look at it and build that into the model itself, knowing that there are going to be some valuation increases, knowing that there's additional projects coming on board that will bring additional assessed value to our city as well, I think will be very easy to achieve.
Well, in the meantime, Mayor, we will have a discussion on this most likely in October. We'll make sure that we get the news out so that everybody knows when we're going to have that conversation, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and my final ask is really that, and really for the special meeting, is that, look, we've had this extra money. You need some direction anyway in terms of how it's going to be spent. But I want to make sure these are very, very visible projects that the people know exactly where that extra money is going. It's very easy sometimes because of everything that's needed. You can put a little here and a little here and a little here, but I'd really like that to go into our streets and roads and water and sewer, a lot of additional things that we need, and make it short term if we can.
Yep.
So, terrific. Well, in other news, we have Judge Loken retiring. I'll tell you, this is a real tough one for us. Judge Loken, after serving the Rowlett Municipal Court as judge for almost 26 years, Chief Judge Loken has retired. Judge Loken has a deep commitment to the city of Rowlett and his community, serving 3 terms on the Rowlett Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. As a local attorney, he's offered pro bono legal services to numerous nonprofit organizations in Rowlett. We thank him for his dedicated service, and he will truly be missed. And in a very positive note, Pam Liston, the juvenile judge, has been named the presiding judge for the Rowlett Municipal Court. Brian, this is truly great news. I am so excited for Pam. This is a well-deserved appointment, and I know she's going to do a great job.
Well, and Mayor, she was a city prosecutor for 15 years, and she's been the associate judge, I think, for the last 5 to 6 years or so.
That's right.
So she's been with us for a very long time.
Well, my understanding is there were 22 years of service to the city, and she has been a huge advocate for the kids as juvenile judge. She has just been, she knows the operations inside and out, and I could not think of a better person to be able to kind of take the reins, so to speak.
There's a new public works director in Rowlett, and his name is Sean Poe. Sean comes to us with over 20 years of public works experience with a vast knowledge of engineering. Most recently, Sean worked for the city of Allen. We're so excited to have someone of Sean's caliber join our team. And here's an interesting fun fact about Sean. He's a certified firefighter and EMT and has volunteered for several local communities. Our fire chief is very happy to have Sean on board.
Thanks, Brian. Volunteers keep making a difference in Rowlett. Here are some of the numbers that show the impact of volunteers on our community. In August alone, 110 volunteers gave 1,360 hours at a cost savings to the city of $34,000. That's based on an independent sector's Texas rate of $25 per volunteer hour. This is a full-time equivalent of 7.9 employees. Great job, guys. We have one of the best volunteer groups ever, and every month they never cease to amaze me. And when we look at this on an annual basis, it's absolutely amazing. And if you'd like to volunteer your skills or expertise, go to rowlett.com and fill out the form of volunteer enrollment.
Rowlett's favorite Halloween party is back. Camp Fear returns this year. Pack up your family, tent, and sleeping bags and embark on an overnight camping adventure. Camp Fear is Friday, Saturday, October 28th through the 29th from 5 p.m. to 11 a.m. at Pecan Grove Park. There's a haunted hayride, tent trick or treating, s'mores, and spooky ghost storytelling. Deck out your tent and compete in the best tent decorating competition. Space is limited, so register now. For more information, please call the number below or visit our website at rowlett.com.
Well, Brian, that's pretty scary and looks like a lot of fun. Well, we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the CIP bond money at work, so stay tuned.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
It's mosquito season. Protect yourself from West Nile virus. Wear clothing that covers your arms and legs. Minimize time outdoors between dusk and dawn when mosquitoes are most active. And be sure to use mosquito repellent. West Nile virus can be fatal. Please, take it seriously.
Now, an update on some of the projects from the 2015 bond election. Here's your CIP bond money at work. The alley reconstruction project behind navigation is moving along, and it's partially open and residents are enjoying the new pavement. 2 new practice soccer fields at Katy Park are fully underway. Topsoil and irrigation have been installed, and the next step, turf. Fun fact, 4,000 vehicles per day are utilizing the new right-hand turn lane on State Highway 66 to the northbound access road to PGBT. That's the equivalent of 13 miles of cars. Line them up one after another, beginning at the corner, and they would extend all the way to downtown Rockwall Square and back again. What a great improvement this is, and I'll tell you, because I've sat in that traffic myself, and it certainly has sped things up quite a bit.
The Rowlett Animal Shelter will host a pet adopt-a-thon on Saturday, October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The shelter is located at 4402 Industrial. Adoptions will be offered at $25 per pet. Normally this is $75, so save $50 and come on down. This includes pet registration, vaccinations, and spaying and neutering. You do not have to be a Rowlett resident to participate. Call 972-412-6219 for more information.
The Texas chapter of the American Planning Association has awarded the City of Rowlett Planning Department the 2016 Certificate of Achievement for Planning Excellence. This certification recognizes the professional planning standards demonstrated by the department staff and the support exhibited by our City Council and the Planning and Zoning Commission.
The City of Rowlett Finance Department has been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2015 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government. This is the 12th consecutive year that the city has received this prestigious award. Congratulations to our Finance Department.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Halloween is a festive time of year with plenty of fun activities for the kids. Make sure trick-or-treating is safe for them with a few easy safety tips. When choosing a costume, stay away from fabric that is long and trailing or loose and flowing. If your child wears a mask, make sure the eye holes are large enough so he or she can see out. Provide flashlights to carry for lighting or glow sticks as part of their costume. Tell children to stay away from open flames. Be sure they know how to stop, drop, and roll if their clothing catches on fire. If your children go to Halloween parties, have them look for ways out of the home and plan how they would escape if there's an emergency. You can find out more about Halloween safety and other safety information on the NFPA website. Just go to nfpa.org/safety tips. And
Brian, of course, we have a lot going on this month, as usual, and so we thought we'd share some of those dates as well.
Sure.
We've got council and P&Z meetings in October. Our first council meeting is going to be October 11th, and then following that will be October 18th. The council meeting on October 4th is actually National Night Out, so we will really not be having a council meeting that night. So if you think about usually a first and third, we're actually skipping the first, so to speak, just because we're doing National Night Out.
Yep.
And so that's a big event for us. And of course, we have planning and zoning October 11th and 25th.
Make sure you are registered to vote. To vote in the November 8th, 2016 general election, you must be registered to vote by Tuesday, October 11th, 2016. That's coming up fast, Mayor. Registration process is simple. Pick up a voter registration card at City Hall or at the Rowlett Public Library to complete and mail it in. Or you can fill out a voter registration application online on rowlett.com.
And of course, one of my favorite events, Keep Rowlett Beautiful electronic recycling and document shredding event, will be on Saturday, November 5th from 9 to 1 at Rowlett High School. I suggest you get there early. You bring your documents to shred on site. You also bring your electronics, including TVs, computers, large appliances, anything with a cord is accepted as a recycled item. And of course, volunteers will be on hand to help unload the heavy items, and there's no cost for the services being offered. And of course, you know, we do limit the number of boxes that you have on the shredding event, but it's a great way to get rid of that, especially with all the fraud going on and people's concern about that. I just keep a bag and I throw all the stuff in there, bring it to the recycling event, makes it real easy to help dispose of. But one of the interesting things is when you look at the trucks that come in for the electronics, I'm like, they're never gonna fill that truck up. And you see the TVs, and I'm like, where did these tube televisions come from? And there's hundreds, it seems like, come in. So it's a great way to help dispose of that, and I should say a great safe way to help dispose of that as well.
Our Veterans Day ceremony will be held on Friday, November 11th at 11 a.m. at the Rowlett Community Center. And you can join us at the Rowlett Community Center as we recognize and honor our local veterans.
You got to love our local veterans, Brian. And of course, another save the date, Main Street Festival and Holiday Parade is going to be on Saturday, December 3rd. And what a great way to kick off the holiday season, and with a fun-filled live music and wide variety of activities event, including meet and greet with Santa and festival-style foods. So come on out for a whole lot of fun, and we'll feature the holiday parade followed by the tree lighting ceremony, and there's so much more. And this year, Brian, because of all the construction on Main Street, it's going to take place behind the community center. So more details to come. Stay tuned.
And then also, Mayor, you know, the 1-year anniversary of the December 26th tornado is coming up. We will have more details on the November show, but we are planning on having a memorial service.
Well, I think it's very appropriate, Brian, because I think we all remember what we were doing that evening, regardless of where we were and when it came in, and the weeks and weeks following. And it's so nice to see the progress to continue with people moving back into their homes. But I think it's always great to have an opportunity to just reflect and remember all that we went through for the past year, and of course that night of December 26th. So, folks, that's our show for today. I want to thank everyone for watching the October 2016 edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. We're interested in hearing what you think. Tell us about our new, quicker format. Feel free to email us or call us, or just stop me on the street if you see us, if you see Drew as well. But tell us what your suggestions are. We'd love to have your feedback. And of course, any information, dates, or stories in the show can be found on rowlett.com.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook for the latest up-to-date information.
That's right, there's 2 ways to like us. You can go to the Rowlett, Texas government page, or you can go to Todd Guttel, Mayor of Rowlett. We do a great job with updating the city information there. It's really good to help stay in tune with what's going on.
So we'll see you next time. Rowlett on the Water, on the Move.